For several years, the Lays searched the highland valleys for commercial quantities of gold. They were unsuccessful. They began using aeroplanes on their prospecting expeditions, flying out over unknown country to survey the land before venturing in by foot. It was on one such flight that the Lay brothers first looked down on the Wahgi, the biggest valley of them all. Soon after their flight, the Lays walked into this valley, and here at last they discovered gold. They set up their final base camp, surrounded by 250,000 more people whose existence had not even been suspected by the outside world.
There were not so many around the first day, but the next day there was a big crowd arrive. They were all in one long line, and they'd come in with the food and sugar cane and stuff like that, and to show that they were friendly and they wanted to trade with us. But I think they did think that we were something a bit more than ordinary human beings. It wasn't very long before we had more food than we ever could hope to use. And they were bringing more and more. You couldn't stop them because they just went wild after the trade. The beads we had and the shell and the axes. I think out of all the people on our trips, the Hagen people were the easiest and the best of the lot for us to deal with. The big men had come forward and he'd address us. I forget now, I don't think we had no, we didn't. We had no interpreters then. But they used to stand up there and give speeches as though we knew every word that they were saying. We'd try to explain to the people that we didn't want to steal their ground. We just wanted to straighten it out for this big bird to land. Of course, you couldn't talk to them, but you'd have to explain as best we could with sign language. And they helped us. And we used to give them shell and beads and things like that for coming. But they really enjoyed it because they'd sing and dance around. They didn't mind the stamping of the ground to pack it up after we had filled in the drains they had around their gardens. They loved the opportunity to have a big sing-sing around the place. And you'd have hundreds of them around singing all the time.
They tell the natives a few days before that, you know, on their hands, that so many days that the barloos had come. They didn't know what a barloos was. A barloos was a bird, you see. Well, they said that this bird had come and he'd come out of the air and it'd make a noise. They'd make a noise like the plane. I think the thing that struck them most of all was the fact that we could sort of tell them that we'll sleep 2 or 3 nights and out of the air will come this bird and it'll fall down here and it'll bring all these things, and out of its belly someone will get out.
Magi na barusikam na urito kirauti by brukuna or get something by put on me prakisimi or papa mama bromi or story or sem na masa meki tok emi makim rohani or sem barusi by kam or sem now the thing to or sem oh by kirauti brukuna something by I come down or get kanaka kamapuna walk.
I remember the day the first plane arrived on the Wahgi strip. I had a good pair of binoculars and I was watching for the aeroplane and I picked it up about 20 minutes before it landed. And I said, well, here it comes. They were more or less terrified, didn't know what it was.
burung kena ini betapa kau begini kau orang ini pun burung. Jadi mungkin dah apa? Bawa kono pun pun kena yang dia mengamu kembang kau yang burung memang awal bukan mata kar pun burung ke.
Paru sini ne, medana kaya tu kan lukon ne kana ne namu. Paru sabor nama musima kolibero kuni kera kau kaya kau ni mana ne mikasi lo ima sahara lo kau kau di sini numukun lo tuni ke nagami kubo kau unu na kuni ke. Gisi una solo kubuni.
Una ori ke taman meri ori hori pasi mori ori krai no gutru. Ori toko baba tete baba yumi finish tru. Na masa meki go na fighting bros bro. Na fighting sigini bro ri toko inogat emi brigim kakolo yumi nogat.
The pilot, Gabansky, was a very tall man, about 6'1" or 2, and he had a flying suit and a white helmet with these great goggles, and he got out of the plane. Then he opened the door, and Kingsbury, the geologist, he got out of the inside of the plane. There must have been 3,000 natives lined up along the airstrip. And they were absolutely amazed, the people, and just looked up with wonderment. They didn't know what next was going to happen.